What is up, Karatics? Welcome back to the Pop Culture Builds series where I recreate movie builds, TV show builds, celebrity, and also now iconic video game builds as well from certain car games. So I figured since the S2, the Comet S2, finally has the Cyberpunk Porsche livery finally in the game, officially available in the LS car meet. So that's how you can get it currently. Before, you have to do like a merge glitch and stuff like that to get the livery, but now you can officially actually buy it right from the test ride in the LS car meet. And it's not just restricted to that specific car. If you buy that S2 in the LS car meet, it's actually going to give you the livery permanently, so you have it forever. Even if you take it off the car, it's yours forever for any of your, if you own multiple Comet S2s, whatever, you can apply it to that. Now, obviously, it's worth mentioning the Cyberpunk 2077 Porsche is not a 992. It's not a modern Porsche like what we're using in this video. It's based on 1977 Porsche 911 Turbo, which we do have the Comet Retro Custom in the game, which would be the better choice, in terms of the era of the Porsche 911. But unfortunately, that car does not offer the Cyberpunk livery. I know, kind of sucks, is what it is. So that's why we're using the S2, because it does offer the livery, and if you put the right parts on it, it actually does look pretty sick. So let's go ahead and jump right in. We're going to customize this in the LS car meet because there's a couple little options that I need from there. So yeah, let's go ahead and head over to the LS car meet. All right, here we are in the LS car meet. Now it's worth mentioning, if you're watching this video after the current event week is over, it's no longer available in the test ride with that livery. If you know a friend that owns the car with the livery, or you can check on my Discord server, we're looking for cars section. You can ask somebody there that can possibly give you the car. You can just buy it from them in the LS car meet, and then you get the livery. But anyway, let's go ahead and start off. As usual for these builds, I always do max internal performance mods and all that, so we'll do that throughout this video as well. So first visual option, you want to go down here to the backdate Comet SR bumper. Now you can choose the regular or the SR. The reason I'm choosing the SR is because it adds the fog lights down below, which the Porsche 911 from 1977, the Cyberpunk one, it does have the same like yellow, well, same fog lights down below. We're gonna make them yellow later on with the actual headlight color or whatever, but yeah, so definitely do this one. Rear bumpers, you want to go to the backdate rear bumper. It's going to give you that similar look. For the engine, we'll max that out. Exhaust. So for this one, you want to go down here to the turbo exhaust. It's the only one that's just two single exhaust tips, as you can see. All the other ones are dual exit, so you want to do turbo exhaust. The first one, not the second one, because the second one has the piping that goes a bit lower, so you want to do this one right here. Fenders, you want to leave this stock. It didn't have any crazy fenders or anything like that. Fog lights also stock. Headlight covers. So for this, you want to throw on the yellow lenses. I'm going to give you that same yellow lens like the Rio one, or should I say game one. No hood catches, you want to skip this. For a hood, you also want to leave stock. The stock one is actually the closest with that vented hood area there. Interior, so for this, you want to leave the dash stock. Doors, you also want to leave stock. Seats, you can do the sports seats if you think they look closer. Personally, I think that the stocks still look a bit closer in shape, so we'll keep those. Steering wheels, now this is optional. Obviously the other Porsche is an older car. This is a newer one, so you have a more modern steering wheel with the buttons and all that. If you want a more older looking steering wheel, I highly recommend installing the Apex Basic or the Rally Basic. So this is what I'm going to go with because the steering wheel is black, and when we change the interior color to green like the Rio one, the steering wheel is still going to stay black, whereas it would be green on the stock one. So yeah, Rally Basic there. Roll cage, there's no roll cage, so we're going to skip that. Lights, so here you want to go down here to the golden ones. These are the ones you want to use. The yellow ones are just too yellow. This one right here is pretty much perfect. And when you turn on your high beams, your fog lights will be yellow as well. So it looks pretty sick once you have, those two together in the yellow. So you want to install that. This is an Arena War option, so it's very expensive, $52,000. I know it's pricey, but it is what it is. livery. So of course we have the livery down here. It's called Rock and Roll Legends. And again, once you buy the car once from the test ride, this livery is yours. Again, to mention, if you're watching this video after the event week is over and this car with the livery is no longer available on the test ride, you need to buy it from somebody else that already has it through the LS Car Meet buying feature. Again, my Discord server will be linked down below in the pinned comments. Go to the looking for cars section and somebody will help you out there. But Rock and Roll Legends. Plates. So for this, you want to leave the stock front plate. The car actually did have the front plate mounted right there in the center, so leave that. For the actual plate itself, it was like a blue plate, so I recommend going with the blue background. And then optionally, you don't have to do this because in Cyberpunk, they were all like barcode style plates. So I went ahead and just made one, just a custom one eye, just so it looks kind of like a barcode. You can also do something like NC77, like Night City, 2077 reference, whatever you want to do. You can have fun with it. It doesn't really matter, but I just went ahead and threw on a barcode just so it looks kind of cool and kind of goes with the build. So do that. Respray. So the real car, well, car from the game, I don't know why I keep saying real car, but let me go to the camera on the front here. So for respray, the back part of the car was green, and the front part of the car was like a metals gray or silver. So unfortunately, the back part that's here gray is actually forced that way. So you can see here the back doesn't change, and if I go to secondary, see, it doesn't change either. That's part of the brake caliper color. Then trim color is the interior, and then accent color is the gauge cluster. So yeah. So for this, you want to go to, I've messed around with a bunch of these with my friend Ritz, and we came to the conclusion that the best one for this is going to be the metals brushed steel. In direct sunlight and everything, I think it's the perfect one. A lot of people use the brushed aluminum, but that's just way too silver. I think the closest is the brushed steel personally, so that's what I'm going to go with here. But if you want to choose the brushed aluminum, you can do that as well. Secondary color is going to be the brake caliper color. Now, it's really tough to tell, but you can kind of see it in one of the images. The brake calipers are indeed red, and it's kind of fitting because your interior stitching is also linked to the brake caliper color, and the car from the game has the interior stitching in red, so that actually works out. We get the right brake caliper color and we get the interior stitching, so very cool. I don't recommend going with Torino. I think it's too bright personally. I think Formula Red gives you a nice balance, because if you go too dark out here, like Blaze Red for example, the calipers look kind of like almost brown and darker shading. It just looks kind of weird, so I recommend going with the Formula Red. So that's what I'm going to go for there. Trim color is the interior color. I've gone through all of these. The closest one is going to be the olive green, this one right here. It's a little dark, but it is the closest one we have available, and outside it looks a lot better in sunlight. So yeah, the bright green and all these other greens, they're just way too green. They just don't work. So yeah, olive green is going to be the closest. Accent color is going to be the gauge cluster. Now, there's a nice close-up shot of the gauge cluster here I'm going to throw on screen. It looks very like bluish, but if you look at this other image here, you can see it's a bit more white. So it's just basically a traditional like LED, I guess, gauge cluster. So I recommend the closest for this is going to be the diamond blue. That's what I'm going to go for there. It gives you a little bit of that blue hue, but not too much. These other ones are just way too blue, so diamond blue is what I'm going to go with there. Roof. So this is going to be stock. Roof is also going to be stock. Skirts. This is fully up to you. The real car did have the throwback sort of, well, in this case, if they would have made one like that, it would have been, that black sort of plastic trim going along the side. There's no option here for that, unfortunately. You just have the traditional modern performance skirts with a little carbon lip. So you can do one of the carbon lips if you choose to do so, but the real car, the skirt was very smooth, sort of that like that, just it's just a smooth downward curvature to the side skirt. There's nothing like flat or a skirt, so I I think your best bet, I mean, I've gone through all of these personally. I think stock is going to be the best route. It also gives you a little like divot in the center, which kind of gives you that accent line, sort of, that separation. You can also go with street if you don't want that accent sort of dip there in the center. It's up to you. So this one, pretty much do whatever you want, but I'm going to go with the stock. Splitters. So the car does have a splitter, nice black plastic splitter, and the size is somewhere between this one and this one. I think Carbon Race is just way too big. And then the GT, while it does go along the sides, it's just overkill with the tow hook and all that. So yeah, I think Carbon Splitter, the first option here, is going to be the best. But if you want it to be larger, you can go with the Carbon Race Splitter as well if you choose to do so. I just think it doesn't flow that well with the rest of the car. So yeah, Carbon Splitter, the first option for me, is going to be that one there. Spoiler. For this one, you want to throw on here the back date deck lid, the regular one, not the carbon one, regular one, because the real one was painted. Sun strips. It's funny because typically the sun strip would just be the primary color of the car, but the livery actually gives you the similar Porsche, in this case Pfister, kind of sun strip up top. That is just so cool, just like the one from the game. Fantastic. So we'll do that there. Suspension. This one I recommend going either competition or sport. It's up to you. It really just depends. In certain angles of the game, it looks a bit taller, and others the car looks a bit lower. It's kind of weird. I think I'm just gonna throw on here the competition, so we'll just do that. Transmission, turbo, wheels. Now this one's pretty tricky. Technically, the closest to me is gonna be track. We go down here to, oh, not track, sorry, street. I mean street. So the Cracker Customs to me are the closest because you get the chrome lip. The chrome lip is a very important part of the build. I'm going to throw on here just so you guys can see, do the black there. And it looks very, very close. But the real car does have tire lettering. And the tire lettering, well, I keep saying real car. The game car does have the tire lettering, but this is too big. As, you know, the issue with the street and track category wheels is the tire lettering is too big. So, alternatively, after going back and forth with a bunch of different wheels, the best route to me is to either go with, as we do need again that chrome lip, is either the Dukes or the Azraels. So pick either one of those two. Personally, to me, I think the spokes on the Azraels just look a bit strange, like too curved. I don't know. To me, I think the Dukes are a little closer. And all of these other ones here, they just don't work. The black top kinda, it's just, I mean, I've gone through all of them again. To get the right tire lettering, I think Dukes is the way to go. And then tire design, there you go. You got the tire lettering, and that's a lot smaller, looks a lot more accurate. So we'll do that there. Wind deflectors, you're gonna keep that stock. Windows, the car had no window tints, fully transparent, so I'm gonna leave that stock. And there it is. Build is complete. Let's go ahead and take it for a little drive. See it out in the sun. You guys can see the interior and all that. Hopefully it's not raining. Okay, good. Look at that. And the best part, see, when you turn the light, since you have the golden lights, your fog lights are also now yellow, just like the car from the game. I mean, it's just awesome. Very, very cool. And this paint, you can see in direct sunlight, it gets a lot brighter, more on that silver tone, but then in the shade, it looks a bit more like the one from the game. So I think the black steel and metals is the right way to go for this one. And then here's the interior, which looks great. See a bit better lighting here. Depending on the way the light hits it, the interior does look pretty good. The Comet S2, not the best handling car, but the styling and the customization is absolutely phenomenal. It's a shame we can't use the Comet Retro Custom for this build. I know, it sucks, but I mean, it just amazes me how many different parts you can use to make it look pretty close to the one from Cyberpunk on a more modern Porsche 992, 911. It's very interesting, but Yeah, let's go ahead and pull over and open all the doors and stuff here. Oh, it looks sick. Very, very cool. Alright, let's open all the doors. There we go. The front compartment. Here's the interior. Got that green. Looks awesome. This opens. I didn't even know that opens with the spoiler option. That's kind of cool. I mean, it doesn't reveal much. It's a plastic cover for a vent. Didn't even know that was a thing. Okay. I think it's very cool. Great addition for the garage. Personally, even though the tire lettering is more accurate, I think the first wheel option I showed, the Kraka from the street category, with no tire lettering, looks a little better. But that's more preference than it is accuracy. And obviously, I want to show the most accuracy I can with what we have available in the game. So, yeah, just gonna move around some stuff here. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments of this build. I think it turned out awesome. Definitely go pick one up, even if you don't plan to do the build now. Maybe later on, just buy the car from the test ride so that obviously if you have the money in game, it's pretty expensive, but buy it just so you can unlock the livery and have it for future use. Or you can just wait to get it later on from a friend in the LS car meet if you choose to go that route. But thanks again for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.